Alright, so actually not a bad Night of Champions. I was expecting it to be really shitty, but it actually turned out to be not that bad. So we get the show started off with Goldust defeating, or Goldust and Stardust defeating the Usos. Not a bad match, I thought. I'll give it 2.75 out of 5 stars. There were some good spots in there, like when you know, Goldust did his somersault move, and then Uso did his flying move or whatever. So I mean, there was some nice spots in there. Not a great match, but 2.75 out of 5 stars. I'm glad the Usos lost too. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Goldust and Stardust. I think they're pretty stupid actually. But at least the Usos aren't tag champs anymore. I mean, the Usos fucking, oh yeah, yeah, doing the retarded ass dance, fucking annoying Usos. Sick and tired of the Usos. They've been tag champs since like February or whatever, March, I don't fucking know. They're annoying fucking PG, boring ass wrestlers. They're not horrible wrestlers. They're all right. But I mean, they're just their gimmick and characters like just so annoying, you know. So, not a bad match. 2.75 out of 5 stars. And glad the fucking Usos lost. Yes, big celebration there in my part. Then Sheamus defeats Cesaro in a good match, good quality match. Maybe not, it wasn't like great or anything, but I thought it was a good match. 3 out of 5 stars. Some nice moves in here. Um, Very fucking pissed that Sheamus won. I mean, I fucking hate Sheamus. Like how many times could he fucking pound his chest or, fella, like a fucking idiot. Or how many times can you do that same fucking move, it's like hitting the guy on the ropes and JBL's like, oh, I wouldn't like to be that guy, oh, that hurts, and, I'll just go ape shit and go crazy, like it's some, like, awesome move every time he does it, it's like, fucking, I hate Sheamus. And then, like, oh, he slaps him and he's like, oh, you don't want to do that to Sheamus. It's like, oh, shut up. I'm so fucking sick of this old, this Sheamus guy, this, like, angry Irishman who's a fucking boring ass babyface. Should have turned heel a long time ago. He's fucking boring ass wrestler, boring ass gimmick. Fucking sucks. He should be a heel. He would be 10 times better, 100 times better as a fucking heel. But instead, he's a boring ass babyface. But nonetheless, it was a good match. Disappointed that Cesaro, who was the superior wrestler, lost. But I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars. Then Miz defeats Ziggler in an okay match. Maybe even decent. I'll give it 2.75 out of 5 stars. They had fucking Florida Georgia Line out there. Like, what's the fucking point? Like, they're a fucking country band. When you think of wrestling, you don't think of country music. You think of, like, hard, maybe even heavy metal, or some metal music, some rock. You don't think of country fucking music when you think of wrestling. Then they're out there, just fucking, like, they're calling them, oh, the most popular band in the world. It's like, what? Like, the only time I've heard of these guys is when they're on WWE TV. The most popular band in the world. What? What the hell are they talking about? They must be fucking, JBL and fucking Cole and Jerry must be fucking smoking something. They're, must have smoked something before this show. I know they were expecting, the show to be fucking shitty like it always is, but I mean, that's probably why they fucking, smoked something. They were expecting the show to be shitty, I know you gotta pass the time somehow, you know. But it was a fucking, it wasn't a bad match. I mean, Miz won. And I don't really care who's who's the IC champ. I mean, it's basically just a belt. It doesn't mean anything, pretty much. I mean, look at all the people who've been IC champion. Bad News Barrett, the first time he was champion, then he turned into a jobber. Not the most recent time, but the time before that. Remember, he was champion, turned into a jobber. Miz, jobber. Kofi Kingston, jobber. Curtis Axel, jobber. All these guys who've been IC champion just turned into fucking jobbers. So, I mean, the belt pretty much means nothing. And, Miz and Ziggler are actually, have some talent, especially Ziggler. So, putting the belt on them actually isn't, it makes the belt maybe a little bit more prestigious, but still, I mean, they've ruined that belt so much. I don't think it's, I don't think it can get back to the, to a prestigious level. Then we get Rollins coming out, you know, unfortunately, fortunately even maybe, Reigns got injured and he couldn't fucking compete, which is, you know, I'm not happy that he got injured, but I'm happy he cannot compete. Another, yes, yes, thank you, no Reigns. No more fucking same 5 boring moves over and over again. So fucking happy. We don't have to see Roman Reigns for a while. Maybe we will see him, but at least we won't see him in the ring. So Rollins comes out, you know, it's like, oh, I won, you know, the ref counts, you know, to 10, and then you got, you know, he's like, oh, he did an open challenge, then Ambrose returns. Pretty cool to see Ambrose come back, you know, cool return, actually a nice brawl too. I thought it was going to be a shitty brawl, but it actually turned out to be, actually a good brawl. You know, they were going all throughout the arena. You had Ambrose jump into all those, you know, security guys or whatever they were. So I mean, a very good segment here. You know, I liked it a lot. You know, nice return. It's sort of expected, but still it was nice. You know, and actually a pretty nice brawl too. So I mean, it was a really good segment here. I thought really good segment. 10 times better than 10 times better than having Roman Reigns, you know, wrestle another Roman Reigns, you know, Roman Reigns type match here. So, you know, a lot better than seeing Reigns versus Rollins. So yeah, I mean, really good fucking segment here. And then we get Rusev defeating Henry in a very boring ass match. Holy shit, was this boring. I mean, you had fucking 2 guys in there who were fucking slow as shit. One who should be retired and one who should have never even came into the company. It just very boring match here. I'll give it a half star out of 5. You know, and just boring ass match. And like, they're making a whole big deal out of fucking patriotism when you know, it's hard to get into this match when, you know, my country is so corrupt, you know, the government's so corrupt. It's hard to fucking, you know, root for the USA and chant for USA for, you know, a country that's so corrupt and it's fake, it's scripted. So how can I fucking get into that? It's hard for me to get into this, you know, too much when it's fucking scripted. But the match was very boring and it sucked. Then Orton defeats Jericho, and actually not a bad match. They got 2.75 out of 5 stars. Was expecting it to be pretty shitty, but actually turned out to be not that bad. You know, nice ending there too with the RKO out of the air. We've seen that before, but it's still a cool moment to see that. So I was satisfied. It's kind of with this match. I mean, it wasn't horrible. Again, it was 2.75 out of 5 stars. Good ending. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely not an Orton type, you know, not a generic Orton match. It was, you know, a decent match here. Then we get AJ defeating Paige and Nikki Bella. Actually, surprisingly, a pretty good match. 3 out of 5 stars. Some nice moves in there. The crowd was dead silent, but still, I mean, it was a good match. AJ wins. I wasn't expecting that, but I don't even give a shit, really. Again, just with the IC title, it doesn't really matter who's champion. It's just basically a title with no prestige. I mean, I would say it's more prestigious than the IC title because AJ did hold it for like 300 days, so I mean, that does make it a little bit more prestigious, but you know, again, it's not really a big deal who's a Divas champion because I don't really give a shit about the Divas division. I mean, there's some people with talent and they're like Natalya, AJ, Paige, but overall, I mean, the Divas division is pretty boring and shitty. Then the last match, we have Cena defeating Lesnar. Some people were saying, you know, this match was shitty, you know, I didn't like how, they were saying, oh, I didn't like how Rollins teased the cash and he didn't cash in. I thought it was good. I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars. You know, before somebody cashes in for good, they have to tease it. Ziggler teased it, you know, a lot. He teased it a lot of fucking times. And he waited a long time, too. So I don't have a problem with him waiting. I don't have a problem with him teasing the cash in because when Ziggler cashed in, it was a fucking great moment. A very memorable moment. And the match, I mean, sort of upset how Cena hit like 4 AAs and just kind of dominated him. Not really dominated him, but he sort of hit his finisher 4 times when Lesnar didn't even hit his finisher once. So I mean, I thought that was stupid. And then Rollins saved Lesnar. You know, they made the impression that Lesnar was going to lose there. Um, so I didn't really like that part. You know, they have to give Cena, you know, his glory back. You know, they couldn't just have Lesnar beat him, you know, 1, 2, 3 again, and then move on to a different feud. No, of course they had to give Cena his prominence and his glory back. But I sort of liked how Lesnar kicked out so fast. You know, they're like, oh, he's superhuman. I liked how they were billing him as this like beast and the superhuman guy. So I mean, you know, they had Rollins tease a cash, and there was some, you were it left you on the edge of your seat there at the end with Rollins. Was he gonna cash in? Was he not? You know, so some excitement there. So yeah, I mean, 3 out of 5 stars. Thought it was a pretty good match there. Overall, I give the show 6.5 out of 10 stars. Thought there was some nice matches on here. Nothing great, but there was, you know, quality matches, decent matches. There was the one match that was shitty though. Was Rusev versus Mark Henry. That was a really shitty match. Everything else though, I thought was either decent or good. So I mean, you know, pretty good show, I guess. You know, 6.5 out of 10 stars. People might say I'm overrating it, and you know, it's your opinion, but if you thought it was shitty, then you thought it was shitty. If you thought it was okay, you thought it was okay. If you thought it was good, you thought it was good, you know. I thought it was, you know, pretty decent show. So yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. Thought there was some nice wrestling in here. So I'll give it 6.5 out of 10 stars. So there you go, people.